Take it all. There it goes. Hey everybody, this is Grimcad. Welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons Friday. We are playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, and we are playing the, oh my gosh, Tomb of Annihilation campaign. I go by Grimcad, like I said. I am a player here, playing a Riade, the bee druid, who is a Circle of Spores variant on a druid. I am joined together with 3 other friends, who will now all say hi, starting with Roll.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
We'll just aerate people. No, start with the players. Do the players first, then do the handoff.
So let's hear from Jake.
Hello, it's Greg. I play Jake, the cleric.
Yeah. And Roland.
Just gonna.
Roland.
Just gonna. Was I not pressing the button?
You were not pressing the button.
Hello there, Roland, the terrible spy here. When I'm not being a terrible spy, I'm fishing.
Terribly.
Also badly, but you don't have to bring that up. Thanks. It's trying to focus on being a bad spy, not a bad fisherman.
Hi, you do what you do very, very well, though. And certainly, however, we are joined at last but not least, by Gypsy. 420.
Yeah.
We're also joined, excuse me for cutting you off, by my daughter, who is in the background and wants to say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Riley.
Hello.
They also.
I never know whether she can actually. Yeah. I never actually know whether she can hear us or not. I just.
She could not.
It.
I wear headphones.
Yes, but I thought so.
So feel free to cuss all day long.
Yeah, I'm gonna swear at your daughter when she says hi to us.
Well, you know.
Grim just turns around. Oh, they say hi back.
Exactly. But I mean, that's pretty much me for the introduction, so I will hand it on over to you.
Yes. Well, marking down what notable loots we ran into last week.
Oh, I think I
Which
forgot to
everyone...
do that, actually.
Wait, did I write that down?
I forgot to write down what you PM'd.
Yes.
Nope.
And yes, you got the haversack as well.
Yes.
But last we played, you guys had
Sorry about that.
all goods. You guys had just finished out a not entirely small dungeon and got your hands on some various nice little goodies. But for sake of ease, we'll hand wave the whole having to figure out what they do in attunement and stuff. We'll just say over the next couple of days travel, you guys figure out your new items essentially. Because yeah, you guys with your current party build, you guys would have absolutely no way of actually figuring out these magic items otherwise.
Yeah. Part of me would like to think that we just never figure them out. We're carrying around this bounty of incredible high-level magic items, but we just have no idea what they are or how they work.
It would be pretty grand, and if it was like a homebrew campaign or something, I would probably allow that to be played out, because you'd figure them out sooner or later. But for the sake of play and everything,
of course,
yeah, we'll say over the next few days you spend time attuning and figuring out your various items. That being said, obviously, if people wish to do inner party trades or anything like that, that's between you guys. Just because I give an item to a specific player doesn't mean I am giving it to only them. It is very much still. I basically, for magic items, just random loot table you guys off of them.
The twins of Tabaskis are they Tabaski? Is it? Is that how you?
Tabaxi?
Tabaxi? Yeah, I want to give my item to one of the rangers in the group that can use it a lot more better than I can anyway.
Well, River is the one who has basically at all times been using a bow, aside from a couple of slaps with her claws. She
What
does
did she
have.
get?
Braces
got-
of archery.
Yeah.
While wearing these braces, you have proficiency with longbow and shortbow. You gain a +2 bonus damage rolls on range attacks. Maybe sucks.
And I
Yeah.
mean,
That's
she
actually
would
dope.
she would rather happily take them either for free, or she would be happy to trade you what looks like a normal fan at first, but ends up being a wind fan, which basically just allows you to summon a large gust of wind once per day or multiple times if you risk breaking it.
So,
But if you
first of
want to
all,
trade the
that's
magic
dope.
items, she will happily do it.
Second of all,
Yeah.
you could probably convince her that we're paying her.
I'm
I mean,
convincing what?
Well, no, don't forget they didn't come necessarily on board as hired help or anything like that.
Yeah,
They're
they-
along as equal parts in the expedition, essentially, or that's how they're looking at it. Like, they don't see any divide between the player party members and them. You are all one party to the twins.
Yeah, so I'll walk up to her and I'll give it to her and I'll say, thank you for your help. Here you go.
I mean, I'm not gonna just like let you die or anything, but I mean these will probably be pretty useful. I don't have much, but I did find this fan down there. Saying its trigger word, it creates like a gust of wind.
Oh, yeah, that certainly might come in handy at some point. Thank you very much.
And with that, she will give you the wind fan and take the braces of archery off you.
All right. I'll just add that onto my sheet now. Does it have any weight to it?
Oh, not anything noticeable.
Would I be able,
What was that?
would I be able to find some way to attach my magic item to my clothing, like have it on the shoulder or something,
I
just
mean,
so
yeah.
it's like right there?
Yeah, for flair, you can do things like that. Like, unless it's something like a sword or something like that. Like minor items, you could say, basically don't weigh anything. You can just have fluffed, tucked into your belt, or have a rope tied around it and hanging off a lapel or something like that.
Yeah, because I got this thing, and I was thinking like I could tie it onto my clothing and use it as like a headlamp or something.
Yeah. And that's absolutely fine. But you lot leave the cave to, I can't remember where we left out, so we will say the late evening of the day that you went back in to finish off the cave. Whether it's a factor of you woke up a bit later because you had your destination right next to you already and you just decided to laze around and started your day later, or it took you a bit longer the second time through the cave just for whatever reason. But yes, because I'm really bad at accurately tracking time, and this also gives you guys a chance to take a long rest and reset yourselves again after the fight. Unless people wish to head out directly.
No, I would love to take a long rest.
Yeah. In that case, you guys basically just restoke the embers from the fire from the night before and make your camp. Give me the 3 perception rolls.
And the survival check?
No, you guys aren't moving today. Like I said, you guys have just come out of the cave at mid to late evening, afternoon. So, the night passes quietly with nothing untoward's happening. Most of the noises and sounds you hear throughout the night are perfectly natural and you've by this point started becoming almost in tune with the forest and everything. You've learned the differences between the general nightlife sounds and something that might pique your interest. You wake up the next morning to a day that's looking like it's going to be rather clear, if a little overcast, but it's not currently raining, and you're not too sure, but it shouldn't rain today. You can't see any dark looming clouds or anything.
Well, we were back on to where the goblins were before this sort of welcome diversion came back up. Should we just continue on?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to get chonky again. Hey, it's go receive a bonky again.
I agree. For no reason than to make sure he still exists and is our donkey.
Not some celebratory meal at some point.
Exactly.
Are you guys able to check if you have control of your party token on the board?
I do not.
Do not.
You do not. Am I able? Yes, I am able to give it to other people. There you go. You guys should now also be able to move your party token.
Yep.
So, don't go moving it like that though. One square at a time, assuming you make the rolls. But if you want to give me a survival for your first day, and we shall get us moving.
Does anyone want me to do it?
Survival, I've got +6 to it. Do you want to do the survival check?
Yeah, as making a joke, I'm terrible at surviving.
Yeah, no. That's awesome.
Terrible at surviving.
Well, a 20 definitely lets you move a square, or even 2 if you're moving at a fast pace. So feel free to move yourself.
We're about to be moving to team.
You know, we got our general direction, but past that, you know, feel free to move where you want.
Are we
So
trying
is the
to rush
problem
back to the donkey?
Yeah,
I think so.
I
that was the
think
Goblin Village
we
right there, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's Yaliark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The purple dot.
So we'll say we're moving at a bit of a fast pace.
Yeah, I reckon we could make it to the river.
So,
Well, everyone takes a extra point of exhaustion for the day, as you have set a fast pace, and you cover good distance and good ground, and you do indeed reach the river before nightfall, but you are a lot more tired for it.
Time for snacks and sleep.
Yes, but remember, sleeping only gives you 1 exhaustion.
so whereabouts was our bridge? Down.
Well, the bridge was
Oh,
pretty
well,
much
down.
destroyed too.
Yeah.
The golem saw a lot of that.
So if you want to make your perception checks first.
You go hide in a tree. Oh, that's persuasion.
Are these even now that we're exhausted?
That's performance.
or-
Don't just stop. I didn't click the right thing at any time.
Self-persuasion performance. What were you saying, Grim?
I said, are these still at advantage, or are these?
Yeah. There's they might be
Yeah.
at normal because you guys have a point of exhaustion. Like
Mhm.
usually normal travel will be adding a point anyway, but then you lose that point at night. You guys took 2 for today, so you're losing 1 tonight. So yeah, you'll have disadvantage on throws, I believe, which is just natural rolls because you have advantage.
Yeah.
So throughout the night, a heavy fog rolls in. It's still clear and there's no rain that you can feel, see, or smell or anything. You know how rain quite often, when it happens, fills an entire area. But this thick, heavy-set fog comes rolling in over your camp about halfway through the night. It seems natural, but yeah, it's there now. But all in all, the night passes quietly besides that. Bring us to the next day.
I think we should, again, sort of take some time, follow the river up, and find a good place to cross the river. I would rather not, again, like, this is a river, so I'd rather not, go across it too tired or anything. That sounds like an accident just waiting to happen.
Well, first give us...
Is the river running like extremely fast? Has it got a strong current?
It comes and goes. It seems to be quite a main river. You still feel you could get lost if you're not careful while following it, just because you might find and follow the wrong culvert or something like that.
Roger.
But yeah, it is very much a mix of heavy and light currents, depending on where in the river you are, if there's rapids and rocks and everything. But give me the survival check to see if you get lost for the day. Which you do not. And then give me a... Sorry, give me a sec. Seeing if there might be anything a bit better suited for this, so it's not all the same roll. Give me a perception or a survival each, whichever you wish.
From each one of us?
Yep.
Okay.
These twins really are twins. They're stats, man. They're stats. Oh, both the twins and Jake, as you guys are walking throughout the day, almost at the same time, you all notice you've kind of been following, I'd assume, the bank of the river, and at one point it kind of goes into almost a valley, and you notice at one point a bridge spanning above you across the valley about 80 feet up.
Sort of a wooden affair, or stone, or...
Wooden and rope.
Okay.
Like a basic swinging bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, people. I've got to deal to a food explosion.
Would we have to, like, sort of backtrack around to get up to it, or could we?
I mean, unless you wanted to climb 80 foot of what looks like climbable cliff face, but yeah, it would probably be, you imagine, easier, especially for people who are tired, to go back half a mile and loop back around to then try climb these sheer cliffs.
And this is like two ridges, a ridge to a ridge. This isn't going across the river.
It goes, the river kind of flows between the sides of the valley, so the river's worn itself down throughout the years to create the valley. So it's at the bottom of the valley, if you mentioned, just like a big V.
But it doesn't go across the river. Like, crossing this bridge would not get us to the other side.
Yes, it would.
Oh, it would? Oh,
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
I gotcha. Well then, yeah, I think we should, take a little time and detour around and head up to that. Certainly easier than either taking a day to rest, to put us in our best to cross the river, or trying to cross the river tired.
And it takes maybe an hour or two to make the round trip back up to where you believed the bridge was. And with a 23 inside the rolls, I won't even make you re-roll survival to see if you get lost. So you guys are standing on top of now that you're standing actually up near it and not at a 80-foot distance, you can see it's stable. Although a couple of the planks that make up the walkway of the bridge seem a bit frail and rotten.
Hope I didn't miss anything important.
No, you guys just decided to spend an hour or two looping back around to go back across the rope bridge, which we will just call it a rope bridge, even though it's made with wooden planks as well.
Stable bridge?
Reasonably. It, for the most part, looks stable, but there are a couple of the wooden slats that look less than.
Is there anything on our map close by? Maybe cross reference. Would we be able to work out where it is on the map and mark it down?
No, this is just a crossing, one of many that you'd be able to find up and down the river. I mean, if you wanted to mark it down, you can just basically put it on the river where you guys are now.
I was just thinking if it was worth it or not, really.
Well, it's more, even with knowing where things are and having them marked on your map, sometimes you won't find things that you know are there. Like, you're pretty sure you would never be able to find that dungeon again. That's just how thick this forest is.
Does it?
That being said, if you full grid searched a hex, I'm not going to say no, you don't find the thing that you know is in that hex, but for ease of sake, like, some things you just won't find again because the forest essentially claims back that land.
Does it look like this bridge sees heavy traffic? Are there fresh, tracks, prints, or anything like that on our side at least?
It sees traffic recently, but it's not something that appears to be used daily, and if it's been used recently, it was a week or two at least ago.
Okay. Well, I guess we should head across it. I'd certainly want the... it's like 80 feet up. I mean, if it fails, it fails. Yeah,
it's not a fall you want to have to risk taking, but at the same time, it is going to be one of the more convenient ways across the river that you can see.
Well,
Do you want me to go first?
I'll go last.
I can go first and bring a rope across me just in case.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. How long is the bridge? How long does it stretch across?
Probably 30 to 40 feet.
Well, we got plenty of rope. We can certainly do it.
It's definitely a very narrow valley that you guys are spanning across now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yep.
For how deep it is and how wide it is. Yeah, it's very narrow of a valley.
So you say Roland goes across first?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. I'll head across the bridge. I'll leave one end of a rope on this side and bring the other end with me.
Yep. Just let me check something on your sheet for a second. Okay, that's good. Yep, so as you're crossing, make a dexterity save.
Dexterity saves? Disadvantage with that exhaustion, or is it just checks?
Let's see.
It has the save anyway.
Annihilation.
Well,
Goodbye, roll it.
Did you roll
as-
really bad?
I rolled 7.
Oh. Yeah. So as you're crossing, why did you do that? As you're crossing, a couple of the slats underfoot, just when you're not paying attention, give way. Make me another dex save quickly. See if you
No,
catch
I
up.
certainly hope this one's better than the last.
Is that a? Is that a? Can I touch that resistance as
Oh
well?
wait, hold on.
Oh no, because you'd be too far away.
Disadvantage on ability checks. So yeah, no, it was a 7 either way. And oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're about 20 feet across when two of the slats you put your weight on give way and you fall through the bottom of the bridge.
Quick, grab on.
I'm just gonna yell, it's not safe.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm not actually gonna set you guys to a 3-second timer before he hits the ground, but you guys are essentially like, make a reaction to save Roland at this point.
Man, like he's in the middle of the thing. I don't.
He does have the rope that is at your guys' end.
Yeah, and
I-
it's tied off and whatnot, isn't it?
Nope, you guys.
Okay,
didn't
yeah, I'll
tie
make
off
the
before
reaction.
that.
I'll make the
Grab
reaction,
the rope. Yeah.
Everyone, give me a strength check.
Even me?
Yes, because you're trying to hold on to
Yeah.
the rope.
Oh, I same thing.
Oh, it's better than a 1.
I don't
It
think
is.
they need to make the strength check if I just let go of the rope.
Well, no, it's more you're trying to, like, they managed to get hold of the rope, especially Riod, who with a 17 manages to stop the rope, flailing off the side and disappearing, and then Jake manages to get a hold and hold on with him as well and everything. But you, as you kind of grab and grasp at the rope, take 1d4 fire damage because rope.
From burning my hands
Yeah.
For 10 feet.
before the falling down.
Oh.
So make me another strength save.
Another strength save. As it was save and check's the same thing. I've still
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a -2.
Bro. It's just not your rolls today, eh?
This bridge really wants me dead.
It does, apparently. So you continue falling, and so you don't let go of
I
the
should've-
rope quite yet. Give me one more strength save as you make one last grasping.
In all fairness, this basically needs to be an at 20.
Is this a saving throw?
Yeah,
And
but
that's saving
you
throw.
guys can't help with
Fuck's
guidance or
sake.
anything.
Oh.
Fuck's sake.
Well, you might survive at least.
It's
Maybe.
possible.
I don't know how much damage fall damage is.
It is a d6 per 10 feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. that's death right there.
That's 8d6. That's like lightning bolt damage.
Yeah.
yeah. So you take, as you slam into the ground 80 feet below you, you take 28 damage.
Are we saying goodbye to?
I'd hope not. He should be a bit chunkier than that.
It's definitely not enough to insta-kill me,
Yeah.
but I am on -2 hit points.
Oh, really? How much health do you have?
33.
Do we have 80 feet of rope on
We
us?
do. Do you have a spell that has the range to reach him to heal him? I mean,
I
he's
do,
some 80 feet
Yeah.
down or so. Probably.
Yeah, do you have a spell that has 80
But
feet?
it's
though?
it's getting him back up. but I'm
Well,
on
it's more. Do you have a way to stabilize him from 80 feet away, or is he making his death saves? Because
Yeah, that's
Right.
I mean, short of throwing yourselves down there as well, you're not going to get down there in the time it'd take him to make
That's
3
the
saves.
Like, we could
Speed
probably
up.
get you down pretty quick. I got a ring of climbing. I can enhance stability myself to try to climb down, this thing. I could probably, drop the last couple of feet and be fine if I can get to him in a couple of, rounds. I can at least stabilize him.
Yeah, because all the spells that I'm using at the moment can't reach them.
Okay. Well, I guess that's the plan. Tie the rope around the tree. I will enhance stability myself. Athletics, I suppose, because that's climbing.
Is that a check? A saving? No, it's not a saving check.
And then I will attempt to climb the 50 feet down the rope, and then,
Well,
drop the rest of the way.
mm-hmm.
So I guess...
If I had a roll on a 3 or higher for my hit points, I would have
Survived that, yeah.
Athletics, it's got +5 to it as well. Ooh.
It's net 20 anyway,
Yeah.
so you basically do cartwheels down this sheer cliff and land quite nicely next to Roland, but it still takes you long enough that he needs to make one death save. Which he makes. So he's on 1 save anyway, and he can work on stabilizing him.
Yeah, I'll just, burn the spell for it. Just, hopefully level 1 healing word.
So you stand back up. You can feel at least a couple of cracked ribs, even with the healing magic pulsing through your body. Everything feels a bit stiff, to say the least.
Hey, buddy.
The bridge isn't safe. The bridge isn't safe. Be
The
careful.
bridge is not safe. Thank you for finding that out.
Anything for you.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, it just saved my life. I
You
gotta
guys
be
have to
nice.
say, yeah, it was warranted. You climb down.
Meanwhile, the cleric, the one who's actually meant to be doing the healing, is up on the cliff like, oh, good job, guys.
You did it!
Yeah.
I'm the cleric of morale.
yeah,
Whoa.
damn, yeah.
Although now we have split the party.
We have, in fact.
I mean,
split
you
the
guys
party.
can see each other and, I mean, shout at each other and everything up and down the cliffs. But yeah, 80 feet of vertical movement isn't something that's easy to overcome.
Yeah. Just shut up. He's okay. Relatively.
I shout back, hello down there.
I just scream, ow.
So, out of character, we got 2 options. I got the climbing kit on me. We can try to climb back up. You guys can drop some more rope down and help that. That's gonna... I don't remember if I brought the pittance on me or whether...
I've got 25.
Okay. The question is...
You just used the rope and everything to get down as well. I would have assumed you would have taken at least a couple of items down with you. But yes, continue.
We can risk climbing back up. We can wait a little bit, and then risk climbing back up, which is a thing that I like because we're still exhausted. you could see about climbing back down. We can get together, or we can just be sort of 80 feet apart on a precarious, ledge for a little while. Or we could try to, backtrack, meet back up, but there's no guarantee we're not going to get lost doing it.
Just saying that would be pretty great. Both groups get lost.
It would be.
Yeah.
So what are we? So we're looking at the me coming down to use better option.
I think us taking a rest right here, and then maybe approaching it with a clear head tomorrow.
I kind of feel like I just want to call it a day for now. Ready for a nap.
Yeah, and by this point it would be early afternoon after the backtrack and having already travelled for a couple hours before finding this bridge.
Because if need be, I can, use my good berries on roll and heal him up another 20 points or so. He can do his own sort of healing. Short rest, long rest, whatever.
You guys also got vials of liquid. You could try the vials of liquid.
I'm not trying a random vial of liquid.
Might be a vial of death.
If I wasn't on 6 health points.
What was that? Sorry?
If I wasn't so low on health, I might try drinking the vial of red liquid.
That's my vote.
He's got help.
Anyway.
But for all I know, it's Gatorade.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The Brondo. Oh, that's so sad. It's so sad that movie started out as science fiction and quickly is turning into a documentary.
Oh, I know, right?
But the twins do not have any healing potions.
Yeah.
About the boys, what about our teammates?
I've got
pick some
like
up
an unknown potion or something, but I mean, I'm not going into unknown potions. Again, I can get him up pretty well.
Out of character, I'm pretty sure the boys picked up a healing potion in that dungeon we did.
I picked up a red potion.
You guys found 2 vials of 1 red, 1 green liquid, and I'm actually with... No, someone used that healing potion, I'm sure.
Did
there was a dedicated healing potion handed out as well, one that you actually figured out was a healing potion. But the other 2 potions, you don't know their effects yet.
We have a jar of unknown paste.
And yes, you have a jar.
We've got a preserved honey with age.
I mean, that's non-magical though.
Is it? Oh.
That is purely the honey is purely mundane honey. It doesn't.
You can sit there and eat it after a long hard day falling down the cliff.
Your hornets look down on it. It's inferior honey to them.
Jokes on them. It's Manuka.
Yeah.
But again, my vote is, we rest. I mean, we hope we don't get attacked in the middle of the night. And if we do, we do.
Well, hold on to those healing words then, because there's 3 athletics or acrobatics checks to be made to get down the cliff. 1 from each person who still needs to get down.
Oh no, I was suggesting we don't do that until tomorrow at the very least. I'm saying we rest. Yeah.
Separately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a call if you want to make it, but you guys are, quote unquote, split.
Is there anything I can do to try and find out what red liquid is, or am I just?
I mean, you can do the usual tests to find out what they are, or you can, I guess, try.
I mean, I don't
spell?
think you need to take the potion. This is actually less of a life or death situation than it might seem to be. I can give you 20, points worth of honeycomb that you can heal yourself with, and just gorge yourself
Yeah.
on honey.
I mean, yeah, that does. That's a fine plan.
Okay, I will cast it twice, and you can just gorge yourself on honeycomb. So that
Well, I will say this though. The twins would be wanting to make the climb down themselves personally. I don't know about Jake, but the twins would definitely be more keen on let's all stick together as opposed to let's keep this cliff in between us. And but that being said, if the general consensus from the entire party is to stay split, then they're not about to leave Jake by himself either.
right. Do you have any spells that can help you out? All of mine are touch. Like, guidance
No.
is touch itself. I know
Oh,
you have
you've
guidance,
got
but like
guidance and-
enhanceability is touch.
Yeah, I've got guidance. And I've also got my heavy armor on too, doesn't it? Would that be at a disadvantage when I'm going down the hill?
Yeah,
Going
I'm
down
pretty
the
sure you would want to take that off.
But I mean, you've already got disadvantage on those skill checks anyway, so it
Oh,
doesn't
I've got
matter.
exhaustion.
Yeah, it's not like you can get super disadvantage, so you're just rolling with disadvantage anyway.
In that case, and then I'm going to roll taking the armor off.
Like, if you don't outright die, we could probably heal you up. If you fall.
I feel like you'll even be more tanky than me.
But it's your choice.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to take the risk? Or...
Do you squish?
I rolled 2 6s against you as well. And 2 1s though. The rest were pretty middling.
Yeah, and I took all that fire damage beforehand.
Yeah. Wow, that was only 4 points.
Oh shit. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took that extra 3 as damage.
No. That was comparing what you needed.
I marked it down as damage.
No, you had 4.
I'm just gonna roll with it. Just gonna roll with it. It's too late to.
It's
too
not
late
like
now.
It's not like 1 point of damage was difference in you getting insta killed, so it doesn't matter.
It was 3 points of damage, and I just wouldn't have got knocked out. But yeah, it's too late.
No, you got. Oh, you added the extra 3 points of damage, right? Oh no, I'm not going to roll a d20 for burning your hands on some rope. That's just status stuff.
Yeah, that was my bad, but it's still too late.
Yeah, it's all good. You overcame it anyway. Chances are you were not going to be feeling well once you dropped anyway.
Oh no.
I still can't believe that though, that you failed all of those checks.
3 7s in a row or something like that.
It went like 7, 17, 7, 7.
So how lucky are you feeling, Jake?
Yeah, it's basically up to Jake. Are you guys saying split, or are you gonna try?
Nah, I'm coming
make
down.
5?
I'm rolling the dice.
Alright, so give me an acrobatics or an athletics, whichever you prefer, with disadvantage because you are both tired and wearing heavy armor.
Athletics, acrobatic.
Your choice.
You know,
It's basically, do you want to make it a strength check or a dex check? Are you gripping that rope tight, or are you more climbing your way down?
We'll go with athletics because I don't got a -1 to it.
Yeah. You get about halfway before the rope slips from your hands. As the weight of your armor weighing you down just that little bit much at one point means you don't quite have the tension on the rope that you need when your foot slips out from underneath you and you start falling.
As I'm falling.
Yeah, strength save.
help. Strength save, you say?
Yep, to see if you can catch the rope again.
Can I resistance myself on that one?
If you want to waste the time, you're about 40 feet off the ground.
Well, you know. Anything's better than nothing at this point. Oh no, I have to touch it before it, yeah.
So you're not using the guidance first?
No. Yes.
Right.
Sorry. I could just use it now and roll for the dice, eh?
I mean, the strength save's there. If you want to use the guidance, you can add it afterwards. I don't mind, because you were technically thinking about it before you made the strength save. Nice. Well, with a 20, you manage to catch yourself about 15 feet before you hit the ground. You catch yourself and hold tight onto the rope. You kind of smack into the wall slightly. Might bruise your knees or something, but nothing too bad that's going to do you any major harm, and you manage to climb down the last 10-15 feet, making it safely because of a good save.
Get down to the bottom, I'll get the boys.
And then
Yeah.
oh wow,
Oh, no.
athletics. Alright, so you guys watch as Flask is climbing down, and about 3 feet from the top of the ravine, you watch as he slips almost the exact same way as Jake, but he manages to catch himself quickly and climb the rest of the way down safely. Now let's see if River does the same. She doesn't even have advantage or anything. Oh,
23, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
yeah, 23. So she makes it down safely. She just, after watching everyone else and the amount of jump scares everyone's had watching people plummet down this cliff, she really takes her time and works herself down slowly. But you are all at the bottom of the ravine once more. Or gully, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
The absolute worst thing is, I was thinking about tying the rope to the tree before going across the bridge.
I was really wondering why no one thought of that, eh?
What's that? Sorry?
I did. I didn't think I'd need to, though.
Tying ropes off and stuff like that. Like, no, I keep those things in mind. If you guys don't remember yourself to tie off ropes and everything like that before you try something, like,
I naturally
I will
thought
fully play it out like that. Like, if you're doing a dedicated, we are climbing down this cliff, then, you know, I would assume you're tying the ropes off. But if you're just taking a rope across a gap and you've got a bridge and everything already there, you might not remember to do it.
I naturally
I
thought that he
definitely remember.
would have done it.
Definitely remembered to do it. Didn't think I would need to.
Yep.
And yeah.
You're taking the rope across the bridge. I thought you would have tied it off, and
Yeah,
you
but
know.
you might also just
Should have at
decide to
least
just
tied
take
one
it
into
across
myself.
and then tie it off at either side and everything like that. Yeah, he didn't tie it off to himself or anything.
Yeah, I didn't even tie myself to it, which when I failed that strength save, you guys would have actually caught me, because I was just tied to the rope.
Well, then you would have still had to deal with the whiplash effect of falling, 30, 40 feet, or whatever distance it was that you managed to, about 20 feet. So yeah, you would have fallen about 20 or 30 feet if you'd tied it off, and then still suffered the whiplash of that, which would have been the same amount of damage, essentially.
Yeah, probably.
But so in terms of map movement, you guys don't make any proper headway today, but at the same time you didn't also have to really roll for getting lost. Well, you did, but you didn't.
in the future, let's not rush so much. There's so many dangers out here. We need to not be exhausted when we're doing these things, I think. I understand we all want to make a good time, but whew, we nearly lost Roland today.
Oh, no, I hear you.
It was pretty close.
And I know the donkey's important, but surely I'm more important.
Surely. Oh, either way, I think we rest up here until we're good and rest. You know, consider ourselves lucky that just cost 50 feet of rope, and try again when we're maybe rest up. We can either head back up there, try the bridge again, or we can just cross it. But either way, I think it needs to wait till tomorrow, or until we're good and proper rest.
That's another thing, you know, that wouldn't have even happened if Roland had been making a point of checking crossing and everything like that. Make a perception roll before you go onto a bridge. It may not be trapped, but it may not be secure either.
Well, that one I didn't even think of. That was that was stupidity there.
Well, that was in character
About-
too. I mean, don't get me
Stable.
what I said.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
No, I was saying to Gypsy that I just didn't even think of perception checking the bridge. But yeah, I'd agree that whatever we do it tomorrow.
I agree.
I personally don't want to go 80 feet back up. I prefer.
I think it might be worth trying to get our rope back, but it is just rope at the end of the day.
I mean, we can go back up and get the rope. I just don't want to try that bridge again.
And at this point, River would probably speak up and, well, I know we've been trying to avoid it, but the height seems to be a lot more dangerous than the possibility of getting wet. I think it might be time to try fording the river ourselves at one point.
You're probably right. Maybe.
I mean,
we don't have the donkey anymore. It would probably be more reasonable to be able to afford it.
That's true.
That was pretty much my guessing. I mean, once we have the donkey and everything back, it might be another matter, but now it's just us. It's less of a risk. There's still a risk. There's big fish in the rivers sometimes, but nothing we can't handle, I imagine.
Big fish, more meat.
What was that, Jake? Well,
How
both
big?
of you, really. I mean, the rivers and lakes, they're home to all manners of creatures, both beast and non. We might find schools of large, dangerous fish, or we might find large things bigger than us or bigger than a ship. You never really know, although I don't think anything too large is going to be traveling through these estuaries and everything. It's a big river, but it's not like the ocean big.
Well, here's hoping. I really don't relish the idea of fighting something in the water. Yeah.
But after that, everyone give us the perception check.
Well, let us see. Let us see.
I mean, Roland's got an excuse. He just had a life-threatening.
Yeah. He got banged pretty bad.
No.
The night's quiet at first. The fog that had been around the day before seems to thin out a bit. It's still very present, but you can definitely see a bit further. But you hear a noise almost like a rattling coming from the north at one point during the night. It doesn't seem to be coming towards you, and unless you go chasing it, shortly after it would disappear. It'll come and go a couple of times, and then at one point during the night it would stop if no one went out to specifically try and find it.
Is this fog still around?
Yes,
Okay.
but like I said, it's not as thick as it has been. The day before, it was, limiting your sight a little bit, not enough to completely stop you moving and everything like that, but it was enough that you couldn't really see too far ahead, even if there weren't trees in the way. But most of the time, there's trees not too far in front of you anyway. But at this point, you can, in the clearer spots, easily see more out to like 100 feet away. I mean, it's not clear at those distances, but you can see that far. I suppose you wouldn't be able to at night time, but
right.
for future reference for the day as well. Whereas the day before, it seemed to be almost half that, 50 to 60 feet. But again, most of the time when you're traveling through the jungle, and in a straight line, you can't see more than 20 feet if you're lucky for how many trees there are. Do we investigate, or do we get the big rest?
Oh, for a big rest after something like that.
I would want a big rest, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, throughout the night, the kind of clattering happens and then disappears, comes and goes throughout the night, never getting closer, not sounding like it's getting further either, and doesn't seem to circle. It seems to originate from a point, and then at one point it just doesn't come back again. But then you wake up in the morning well rested, the fog's still thick around you, and you're good to go.
Alright, plan of attack, gentlemen.
Are we still exhausted?
No, you can clear off, put you back at 0 exhaustion again. That includes you, Jake, because I assume most of the time when you're not actively doing something, you're doing the best to rest.
Yeah, trying to conserve the energy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Certainly am. Wait, how do we mark that on our character sheet? Exhaustion?
There's no
Just
thing for it. I put it as one of the little resources on the course sheet and labeled it exhaustion.
you can do that.
That's what I did too.
I'll just pull up a notepad, do a +1 to exhaustion.
Well, actually, here, I'll set it up for you now. Just stay out of your character sheet for a second. Because it is something that quite often you have to deal with here. Exhaustion 0. There. And you should just have it set up now. But yeah, I honestly don't know how you're meant to do this campaign by the book, following the actual raw books and everything, because it would be nigh impossible in my opinion.
Actually, we were sitting down talking about it the other night, bro. Like, it's...
We did the maths. You have like 70 days at most, and by rights, you don't like earn and lose exhaustion like this. You have to make specific efforts against exhaustion and things like that, which will take time. So I think this is very much a module that needs to be enjoyed like this.
Chalt's less of a follow the every single rules module. Chalt's more of a build your own adventure module.
Yeah.
Man, 70
Which
days
I love.
Like, is not a lot of time for all of the points of interest on this map. That, you know,
But they do...
Even for only if you're visiting the direct ones that you basically have to complete the story and everything like that, the travel time from Port Nyanzaru to Omu alone is like a month right there.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, they make it apparent that, yeah, you are going to fail if you make the wrong move.
Yeah. But, like, Fraser said, it's very much a build your own world around this module, have it as a starting point or as a
Yeah.
longer story.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what Arcane Arcade's done anyway.
Mm.
Built his
But-
own adventure around this.
Anyway, we are still at the bottom of the ravine. We got sidetracked for a
We
minute
did.
there.
Well, I'm guessing we just, take a little time, look for a relatively short way across where the bank is easy, and then we go for a swim. Jake, you're probably going to want to stow your armor for this one.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, that is a very good idea.
Yeah.
Have to. Hold on a minute. Oh. Okay. So yes, I do take my armor off.
And not only that,
I if I could, if you could most kindly help me with my armor through the water when it comes time.
you just pass it out to whomever.
Yeah.
Like, the other thing we want to do is we want to make sure whatever we have secure.
Yeah. Which, like, I'm happy to say, because you guys pretty evenly distributed via weight, all the equipment anyway. But, we have been playing it basically a communal,
Yeah.
what everyone's got, you put together and everything like that. But people do have their own kits that they've been carrying around that have their portions of that. So if it's on your inventory list and everything, it's quote-unquote secure.
Okay.
And yeah, your armor, Jake, you would be able to find something, whether it's tie it to your bags, hand it out amongst the party, and everyone ties a piece on or something like that. But yeah, you guys would be able to get the armor across. It's just the only effect you have is the less AC.
Yeah, and I'm very lightly encumbered right now with the haversack.
Yes, that is another thing. You guys also have the haversack now.
I've tossed most of my stuff into it at this point.
Alright, so I take my chainmail off, and that brings my AC down. Oh, I hate to see that number.
What is it? Like,
11.
wow.
It's pretty rough.
Takes a whole 7 off. Alright, yep, and then I divide my armor pieces up amongst the team.
Yep.
Past that, aim for the shore and hope we don't get dragged under.
Of course, that would happen. I thought that would just roll it to me. I knew I should have used the D20. Everyone give me a perception roll.
What is that swarm of... How do you say that? Quippers?
Quippers, yeah. So as you guys are getting ready to cross,
Rolling.
but Rion, as you start wading into the water, you notice a slight ripple on the surface, and so do you, Greg, and for sake of them, so does River. But you see a swarm of fish circling around the area in front of you.
Reasonable sized big fish? Catchable fish?
They're tiny fish, but it's a big swarm. It'd easily take up, say, the same space as you.
Wow.
Anything about these fish, River or Flask?
I would guess they would probably be quippers. I mean, they're a common fish around here. Imagine piranha. Basically them in a nutshell.
I see. Oh, well, that's probably not great.
So is there like a ledging a path going around where we need to go?
You guys are trying to get across the river.
And as
Oh.
far as we know, is there only the one swarm of quippers?
That you can see, yes.
Well, guys, what if I were to do this, and then I'm going to look like I'm starting to prepare to cast a spell?
Yeah.
Unless anyone stops me.
Against my better judgment, I won't. Riyadh's eager to see what you have planned.
If it's a save, let me guidance at first.
No, it's not.
You shoot a radiant ball into the water.
I'm recording it.
Definitely some raised eyebrows at that. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, I've just learnt it. I can only do it once a day.
And you watch as this orb, very, very similar to the one you've seen Flask throw a couple of times, but this one doesn't seem to take the color of an element, but is just a bright glowing white, and it dips into the water, which you watch sizzle for a few seconds, and you watch as a few bodies of the quippers float to the surface and get dragged and swept down the river.
I mean, I suppose... Ugh. I'm really loath to just blast these things with spells. Are they... taking the hint and maybe they'll move on?
I can see if someone wants to make a... Oh, Roland, make a quote-unquote intimidation check.
Like it. Y'all defend.
Is it? Do I roll an intimidation? Or do I roll anything else? What should
never
I roll?
mind. Never mind, because I just realized one of their condition immunities is frightened. So no, they're still roiling and looking very angry, but it's a very much smaller swarm by this point.
Hey.
And because no one seems to want to ask him, he will just use it, and he will follow suit, although missing. Of course he does. Oh wait, 12. Doesn't even hit anyway. Sorry.
So
So you watch as Roland's orb, and then followed by Flask's orbs, both dip into the water right next to the swarm, barely missing them, and fizzles away for a few seconds before the water sweeps whatever they used.
I'm
That
not really fond of blasting. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Road here. I'm not really fond of blasting the water and wasting spells on.
well, to me, it's less of a waste and more of a... There's not necessarily a reason to kill them. I mean, surely they'll just leave at some point when they realize they're not going to get anything here.
What if they smell us and don't leave at all?
Oh, well, I'm not saying we
Well,
go
they-
in with them
know.
in the water. That's probably a bad idea. I suppose we're wasting enough time like this. So, I got cantrip chill touch that I can, cantrip at
Blast
until
away.
they...
Yeah. Which we won't bother with rolls.
Yeah.
I think, seeing as you can do it, yeah.
Plan B would obviously be trying fishing now.
I'm surprised that wasn't plan A. I thought for sure that was plan A.
Well, to be fair, your fishing roll fails too. It doesn't even hit their AC.
Yeah. No.
But you guys watch as Riyadh spends a couple of minutes just
I
kind of
can't-
guiding the spectral hand
I
through the
don't
water.
wanted to show off my new orb though.
And after a minute or so of watching this almost ghostly hand passing through the water backwards and forwards, the last of the fish float downstream.
So you think it's safe to cross now?
So I would like to perception the very thing that Greg asked. Has this attracted anything else, or are they gone? Fair enough. 10. I mean,
The waterway seems clear
okay.
for now.
Well, I think it's pretty much now or never. We should probably go before something comes. Some scavengers come.
And
Good idea.
Yeah.
everyone make me a strength or dexterity check.
I am going to
Whichever you are better with.
enhance ability. Ugh, probably myself.
And I'm not even gonna bother doing anything.
Not save, just straight check.
Oh. Okay.
I don't think it makes a difference though.
Yeah, I believe it's the same roll.
It does with proficiency.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
it does
yeah,
with
yeah.
proficiency, yeah.
I'm not proficient in them, am I?
Doesn't matter. That's why I'm doing straight checks. Just whichever is your better one. You're basically either trying to swim against the current or use the current to your advantage to get across.
So how do you do it without doing the save?
Just click
You
the stat
just-
on the left.
Far left. Where the big old numbers
Oh,
are.
yes. Yeah. But did you want to take my first roll though? Since it was my first roll, oh no.
I mean, no.
No? Alright, cool.
It doesn't make much of a difference anyway. Well, I suppose a 3 would have, but yeah. Nothing negative too bad was going to happen. You all make it across at varying states. The 12s would basically have a good 5-minute walk to meet with the rest. You don't really leave each other's sight
Mhm.
as you get swept downriver a bit more, but you two definitely get swept down a little bit. But the rest of you make it across, almost directly across from where you first set out.
Easier than falling off a mountain, certainly.
And it hurts a lot less as well.
Much.
And now I feel silly for not just going across earlier, but
You think you feel silly?
well, you just have to watch where you're going a little bit better.
So, give us our survival roll for the day.
Roger?
You do not get lost. Feel free to move a tile.
Tile going up the river, yes. Of course, because of swimming across the current.
Your call. You're the Cobra Commander.
Yeah. So as you're traveling throughout the day, you pass close enough to Camp Righteous that you can see the giant statue occasionally through the trees now and then. I mean, unless you guys want to go back towards there, you can take a path around, though.
I don't particularly.
But yeah, it's a big enough of a landmark that you can find it again if you ever need to or want to. But give us our perception rolls.
Is there any way to hotkey these?
Like to press keys on keyboard? No, I do not believe so. Keep your sheet up, or don't press the X. Just double click the top of your sheet,
Yeah, the big white bar at the top. It sort of minimizes it.
and it just minimizes it.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I use the pop out.
Hmm.
Or use that. Yeah.
That's really handy. So does the night go without trouble?
Sorry.
Please?
Yeah. It does. I'll get to the explanation in a second. I just
But
have
you
very
take your
crunchy chips, so I can move the mic away for a sec.
time. So I was just,
But no, the night does pass quietly, and throughout the night, the rest of the fog starts clearing out. Just almost a light mist by that point. Still there, still relevant, but not hindering you in any way, shape, or form now. You wake up the next morning bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah. And if no one had anything in particular they wish to do, you can give us the survival check for the day.
Wait, were those orange peels? Yep. Just found orange peels down the side of our couch. I think Tyson might have
Oh, joy.
dashed them down there.
You did not get lost for the day. Continue
After
on
these
your way.
survival checks. Go on.
And as you're traveling throughout the day, you start noticing some marks here and there. Various different kinds of marks as well. Both from beasts and you can tell from some form of humanoid. Probably smaller ones, and you'd guess probably goblin. And at one point, if you were keeping a particular eye out at any point, you'd start seeing the markers you've seen before that denote a goblin tribe's area.
Could we make out whether they're similar to the markings we've seen before, or are they just sort of blah?
They all seem to be different. They have very similar themes, but each one is different to another from, say, the same tribes. You've only seen or really paid attention to the biting ants ones so far, and you'd guess it was probably majoritively that you've found the biting ants ones. They have very anti-looking things, but while some might be made with chicken bones or sticks, and others are made with a wood carving or some mud painted on a tree or something like that. It's more of the general shape shows the tribe.
Well, I think we continue on, but we should still be on our guard. I had been working on a mask a little bit, for the biting ants, similar, sort of on the downtime. And about this, I wouldn't necessarily put it on, but I'd want to keep it handy. So if we encounter something, I could put it on.
Yep. And by this point, it would, not to say how good your craftsmanship or
probably not great.
yeah, and the state of it might not be the best, but it's enough done that you'd be.
Whoop.
We're
I
good?
think we lost you there.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Oh, I think we also lost 420 there.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now,
just...
but you cut out.
Where did I cut out?
Describing the mask shortly after.
Oh, okay. So basically nowhere.
Oh, well, there you go then.
But yeah, so you'd be confident in saying it's quote unquote done to the best of your ability.
Okay.
After having worked on it for the past, week or two.
Yeah.
But the day passes rather uneventfully, aside from those couple of markings you see here and there. And like I said, some of them aren't just the markers for territory, but there's also the marks of things moving around. Sometimes you come across mini tracks as well.
Many or mini?
Many, M-A-N-Y.
Okay.
So a lot. but not like lots and lots,
Mhm.
not like hundreds of tracks covering an area or something. You know, it's more than one or two creatures worth of track.
Mm-hmm. Could we make a guess as to what they are?
If you give me an insight
Hmm.
or investigation, I guess, both work.
I would love to give an insight with some a little bit of guidance there.
And with 19, you probably guess the biggest quote-unquote group that you see of tracks would easily be 15 plus creatures moving through an area. Others are less, and when they are, it's by half at least. You know, usually 5 or 6 tracks to a grouping, but at one point you would come across a much larger group, almost by twice the size and a little bit.
But still not a real good idea of what they could be.
No, the larger group, the larger tracks and stuff, like the 5s and 6s, and definitely the large group of 15 plus. They're definitely some form of humanoid, and again, you'd guess pretty well after traveling with a couple of goblins for a while that they are some form of goblinoid. They skitter in between roots and around the root systems, as opposed to you guys who are a bit bigger and can't quite fit through those little crevices and gaps. You guys have kind of made more of a path behind you through them. They find the natural paths through the undergrowth.
Okay.
But assuming we don't want to press through the night, we shall set up camp, give the 3 perception check.
Is anyone in agreement that they don't want to press through the night? They want to set up camp now?
Yeah, I'd rather set up, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd imagine the general consensus would usually be that, but if anyone ever has, other plans, that's your time to speak up.
Shut. Ooh. Not a happy little perception check right there. It's
No, not very. Make my rolls. So, partway through the night, you hear quite a large group approaching. We'll call it on Riod's watch, because anyone else would probably have missed them. But there is definitely a large group heading towards you.
About how far out?
You'd guess they're probably a good 5-10 minutes away, but it seems like they are definitely getting closer.
Okay. Well, I would mage armor up. I would wake everyone up.
Would I at all possibly be able to say that I was waiting till the last watch to have my rest and just already be awake? I mean, not that I heard anything, but
if you want, if you're wanting to save your rest for after this encounter, then yeah, I guess.
Oh, after Riod has told me about it, I'll slip into my armor.
You may not have time to slip into your armor.
Yeah,
they're about 10 minutes out. I would grab the mask and put it on. Like, hopefully, these are still biting ants, goblins, but we should make sure to try to identify them before, well, we start killing them.
But I am gonna slip into the trees.
Stealth?
Very poorly.
first. So you can position yourself as you need or want. You're in your tent, you two.
Yeah. From which direction would they be coming?
The south.
Okay. Well, I would try to position myself southernly.
So you watch, and I'm hoping you guys don't do anything really silly here, but you might, so I will have to pull things in if need be. But you watch as fucking find it. What is that noise?
What noise?
It's like
Static.
static or something, yeah.
Might be my mic.
I think it is.
I think it's Greg because I'm hearing it too.
Still static as well.
Certainly sometime.
Yeah, it stops now.
It just started as well, if that helps.
Does it?
I'll mute my mic and I'll try to fix it.
I mean, it might be fixed at this point because it's certainly not doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it might have been the loose connection then. But I'll just let us know if it does it again.
Sure.
Then, yeah, we'll just sort it out from there.
We say as
Hey,
it
it's
starts
doing it a
going.
teensy tiny bit right then.
You watch as a group of humanoids start walking into your camp. And of course now I find led by this person here. And she walks forward and says, "Ah, adventurers. What are you doing this far from the city?"
Hello, friend. We're adventuring.
Oh, not many come out this far. Is there a particular reason you are here?
Well, to be frank about it, it appears that the further in we go, the more we find.
No, I guess this is fair. Cholt is a very varied place. Bad choicing of words.
Right.
Cholt is a very different and lucrative land.
And you? What are you doing so far away?
We are looking for someone. Have you come across any other adventurers in your travel?
No.
None at all?
We've hardly seen, well, really, any other humanoids. Well,
No.
there was someone, oh goodness, weeks back, but they just really passed by our camps. They said they were looking for someone as well.
Oh, really now? I wonder. Well, I guess if you have not encountered anyone directly, did you encounter these people directly?
No,
Who
never,
were they?
never saw them. We stayed within shouting distance of each other. By mutual agreement, we decided not to get too close to one another.
Well, that is often a good way to be, she says as you've kind of watched this very large group.
Yeah.
Your clearing. Well, we are looking for someone very special, more importantly, a belonging he has. We would be willing to pay a large sum for this ring.
I'm very sorry, but we've been out here in the forest for nearly a month. We're not up on any news. I don't know of anyone whom you could be looking for or what you could be looking for.
Do you know the name Simba?
No? Out of character, I can't think of the name.
Cimber. Simba. Sorry, it sounds very much like Simba, like
So-
Lion.
That's what I was also laughing at myself. I was going to go, ooh.
No, I can't say I've heard of that name.
Well, this man is a thief and not to be trusted. If you come across another man called Simba, Artis, I believe his name is, he travels with a... Give me a second. He travels with a lizard of some form, a humanoid one. If you come across them, be very wary of them. They're not to be trusted at all. And if you can get a belonging he has on him, it's a ring. If you could get your hands on that and bring it to us, we would pay you quite well for it.
And don't get offended by this, but whom are you?
I am from the Centauri.
I hate to show my own ignorance, but I'm not entirely familiar with where that even is.
Give me a sec, because I'm not sure if it's a race or a faction.
Huh?
Like if it's a race of humans
Mhm.
or a faction of them, and it doesn't cover them amazingly right here.
I like it.
Yeah, it should be here. Yes. Oh, we are a group of people. We control and have power over a lot that goes on in Chol, from Nyanzaru to the far mountain.
You're located to the south?
I wouldn't say located. We go everywhere. We are everywhere. And don't think we only exist in Cholt either. We are from Faerun as much as anyone else.
You're more a faction than a people.
Yes. We are an organization of sorts. Imagine like the Harpers, but we don't exist so openly as they might.
Not as openly as the Harpers?
You have not heard of us, have you?
Well, fair.
And yet you have heard of the Harpers.
Alright, he's back.
And do you share some of the same ideals as the Harpers, or?
Possibly not ideals. We are more worried about money
I see.
and manpower as well. We have some of the finest for hire mercenaries that you could find, if you can find us.
Do you now?
And if you spent, even a few cursory seconds looking around the group, you see that each of the men with her could easily hold their ground. Aside from, strangely enough, they seem to have one Cholton with them who, he doesn't seem to be a prisoner or anything. He walks amongst them and has weapons and everything. He's definitely part of their party, but they also stand out quite a lot. In amongst all these various mercenaries and thugs with, different varying armors, some metal, some not, and everything. There's this near stark naked warrior carrying a spear.
I mean, I'd probably give him a questioning glance, but I don't think I would bring much more attention to the fact that I recognize that than that.
I mean, it's not something they try and hide.
Right.
Like, you know, he is essentially, you know, with them and everything, but at the same time, it's very much a juxtapose when you have, you know, these people who are essentially from the, you know, cut from the medieval ages in varying states of armor and mercenaries and everything like that, and then all of a sudden there's this Zulu warrior standing there as well.
Okay.
Well, if you have not heard or seen Simba, then I guess there's no issues here. As I said, if you manage to find him and find our belongings, then look us up. You'll be able to find us in Nyanzaru if you are well disposed enough for it.
This ring that you're looking for, though, could you describe it some? I imagine there are magical rings far and wide throughout this land.
It's not one to be trifled with or kept from us. We are not going to be forgiving anyone who has taken it. So, I assure you, you wish to bring it to us or worry about us. Her voice changes at that point, kind of just cutting very, very harsh for a second as she says that, and then continuing back on with her almost soft way of speaking. It's an old artifact from ages ago, before anything that you might have encountered. We are a bit loath to share its uses, but
even a physical description of what it looks like is...
a physical description? It is a ring as far as I am aware. I'm sorry, it is not mine personally. It is the sense. It is a faction item, if you will. I myself have never seen it. I just know what to look for. That is Simba and the ring he will have with him. He would not trade it for anything.
I see. I do hate to be so forward about it, but I think if you can't give me a physical description of it, then a description of what it can do would help.
It has a few effects, one of which is it summons an almost ice storm around the user and makes it very difficult to get near the person if they don't want to be near thing.
Oh. I see.
As I said, though, it has a few different uses beyond that.
Yes. If it can do more than that, I can see very much why you would want it back. And this Simber stole it from you?
Yes.
I want to insight that.
She's bald-faced lying. It was not stolen from her or a faction whatsoever.
Okay.
It is just something they are very, very well wanting.
Gotcha. Alright, and the easiest way to find you is to head back to Nyanzaru and simply ask about the Sens?
Oh, that will definitely pique our interest quickly, yes.
Is there perhaps a more friendly way to do it? I hear the tone of your
Do it.
voice when you say that.
Do that, but very quietly and without our name.
Understood.
Roland, you would kind of get the feeling of what she's meaning by she's meaning. You know, you use those back channels that the people in your kind of work tend to know more than the people that say Riot would know.
Yeah. I'd assume that I would understand that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's not like she's actually using any form of thieves' cant when she says that, but you know, it's very much the insinuation, and you know, with the context that people you and the people you know and everything like that, you'd be sure you'd be able to find some shadow organization.
If anyone can, it's the rogue.
The rogue who falls off a cliff and nearly dies.
rub it in.
Well, yeah.
Or falls into a trap and nearly dies, or gets hit by a bone wheel and nearly dies. If the rogue survives, he can do it.
And
But with that,
Precisely.
she would
well, I would
give
also,
a signal.
and we should ask for you as well.
I mean, I'm not about to give you my name, and I don't expect to ask for yours. The organization knowing will be enough. If I happen to see you again, it will be possibly fortuitous for both of us.
How about a cold war?
And she kind of gives you a dismissive look as this voice comes from the tree above her. Keeping in mind, you were stealthed that whole time, remember?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna after obviously saying something, I'm gonna drop out of the tree and I'm gonna be like, "Sorry, you can't be too safe around here."
Indeed. Now, I have matters to attend to and a ring to find. If you make headway and can help us, maybe we shall meet again in the future. Otherwise, enjoy your adventures. And she kind of gives a hand signal, and you watch as the groups split off and make a flank around either side of your camp, leaving off into the distance.
I'd give her a thank you and good luck.
You too. And with that, they fade off into the night.
After a while passes, because I would not want to speak for quite some time, you know, a good 10 or 15 minutes until after I was sure they were gone. Or would, still in a whisper, she was lying about that ring, rather about the ownership of it. To be very frank, I believe those are the kind of people that I personally very much do not want to be associated with.
I kind of got that feeling that too, that she wasn't telling all the truth about the ring,
Yeah.
especially ownership of it anyway.
Whoever this Simber is, well, I don't feel good for him.
Well, we will keep an eye out for him.
Well, to be very fair, as I mentioned before, when we came across the other group, we had a very unspoken, we don't want to meet each other. I think most people we will have that unspoken agreement with. It takes someone as brazen as this person was to walk into the middle of our camp with all those armed guards to force that contact, I think. And to excuse me because I have to write my notes down.
It's fine.
All right. So
we good?
yeah, I think so. I wish I could spell.
Well, we wake up the next morning. No worse for wear. They seem to have continued along their path and continued onwards. What do we wish to do? Possibly get pulled back to our...
Well, I think we just, again, sort of continue on. I mean, they sort of went off to the north, right? So.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
that could have,
Just
gone
as
any
easily,
distance
yeah.
after that.
I understand.
Well, roll me a survival, and we will get moving.
Yeah. We'll be right back. I'm going to get some more water.
Actually, if anyone wants to go make coffee or anything, we'll take a $5 now then.
Yeah, I gotta fix my sound and all that, but I'll roll that survival.
Yeah.
I'll go take a 5 minute because my brother's showing up. If I'm not back by the time everyone else is,
Yeah,
can
I
you just
actually
go on
realized I
without
got
me?
to go put my kid to bed.
Yeah, I was saying we'll take
Should have done that like 20
and
minutes ago.
get things done.
Yeah.
So we will be back in 5ish.
But you,
Riley.
fucking flies! don't shoot him that way. Shoot him.
I'm back. Don't know about other people. Just me.
Alright, I am back.
That is one person.
We will hit her back in chat. I'm mad that lady wouldn't give me her name.
Shadowy figures from some organization you haven't even heard of. Don't need names.
Yeah.
But yeah, once Greg's back, Fraser did say to do without him.
Yeah, I'm back.
Well, as you're traveling for the day, you can move your token, and
Okay.
early in the morning, probably only 20 minutes after you head out from camp, aren't you guys going to Yalyak?
I think so.
Yeah.
I suppose yeah, you might want to, I mean, not to tell you where you want to go,
Drag
but
it up. Yeah.
wouldn't you want to go to the one to the south? Yeah. Or else you're just adding another day needlessly. But early in the morning, like I said, only maybe 20 minutes after you leave your camp and pack it up, you come across a pair of Allosaurus' dinosaurs. Which, if you don't know what they look like, give me a second. They're a fair bit off in the distance. But they seem to have noticed you. Everyone wants to give me a survival check.
Did I miss much?
Nope, you just found a couple of Allosauruses, which if you want to give me a survival check. I mean, you don't, no one else needs to. A 24. Easily, Jake quickly takes note of a gap in between a couple of trees that you're 100% sure those dinosaurs couldn't get through, and assume you guys take safe refuge unless you want to fight them.
I think I would want
Do we wanna
to take safe refuge. They're, like
Yep.
basically mini Tyrannosauruses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are basically just small Tyrannosaurus rexes. So you guys take cover in the trees, and the Allosauruses spend a good probably 10-15 minutes trying to scratch away and get in, and then after a short time they grow a bit bored and wander off. I'd assume you guys would give it a little bit longer to make sure they're not trying to
Yeah.
jump on you the second you walk out, and you manage to continue on your way safely.
That's how the one guy in Jurassic Park died.
Hmm?
I said that's how the one guy in Jurassic Park died.
But the rest of the day passes uneventfully.
Oh, I just got a quick question.
Yes.
The dinosaurs in this campaign, are they Jurassic Park dinosaurs, or are they real dinosaurs with feathers?
A mix. There's all kinds of dinosaurs, even feathered Allosauruses and leathered Allosauruses. There's anything your heart desires.
Awesome.
Yeah, how dare
Fluff
you?
things like that. Yeah. Fluff things like that, I don't really mind. You can make the story in your head what it is.
How dare you
I'll
bring
give you the
modern
general
science
description.
in?
I know,
I
right?
like my dinosaurs leathery.
But give us perception roll each for the night. Which passes uneventfully. The last of the fog and mist seems to have dispersed over the past day, and it's nice and clear now, and for the first time in a little while since you guys basically came up to Mbala, it's a really clear day. Or clear night, I should say, going into the next day.
Well, we're
What'd you wake
also
up for?
sort of talking about the weather. Let me interrupt you for a second. Has it still been steadily getting colder?
No, it seems to have petered out for the past week. It's still biting through, and the sunny days are, a sunny winter day. The sun's there, but it almost doesn't feel like it puts off heat. But it's still not quite to the point where you're having to freezing to death yet.
Okay.
Whether it's going to plummet again at some point, you don't know at this point. But for the past week, it seems to have petered out into a more even temperature of just really cold. And give us a survival check for the last day.
It didn't come through. Okay. Wow.
Well, you definitely don't get lost.
I haven't failed one today.
Yeah, it's pretty good, eh?
Please be like this for the rest of the campaign.
Don't get lost. As you are traveling throughout the day, and in the late afternoon, you see something ahead of you in a clearing. You feel like you've encountered at least similar people to this. Again, they're humanoid once more. But these ones are robed, and calling back to your memory, it very much seems to be the same type of garb and dress as the people you saw one night a few weeks ago.
The ones that I referenced to before that were looking for the master?
Yes.
Okay. And they're aware of us? I'll
They're not aware
zone
of
out
you.
a second there.
No. Yeah, sorry. No, they haven't noticed you, and they seem to be going off in the opposite direction as you. You sort of passed each other as you're going. And you almost don't see them at first, but just as they're about to leave your sight, you catch a glimpse of them passing through the trees.
Out of character, do we want to call out to them, or in character Riyadh would be perfectly fine at not doing that, but
I don't really think we have any reason to yell out to them, do we?
not particularly, really. They're one of the only other groups we've seen out here who hasn't tried to either flat out kill us or get us to kill somebody else, though. Although, admittedly, we haven't talked to them long. They could just be getting to that part.
Yeah, they don't ask to murder on the first date. Come on. But assuming no one calls out to them, you both pass by, seemingly almost unaware of each other except for just catching a glimpse of them. And you can move yourself that one last square onto Yalya. Or Hex. It's not even a hexagon. Yes it is. No, it's not. One. I forget which one hexagon is.
Hexagon is the 6-sided one.
Oh, okay. So octagon's the 8-sided.
Yep.
That's octo.
Octo means 8. Octopus. Octopuses don't have 6 arms.
Yeah.
What if they got in a fight?
And you arrive back in, what is as close to familiar territory you might find out here. You're not, noticing direct path, but you definitely feel like you've been in this area a few times and you were getting closer to Yalya. And sure enough, as you make camp for the night, you hear some noises coming. And a few minutes later, you hear, "Oh, hey buddies, you down there?"
You look up and...
Big Smart!
Big Smarts!
You know it, it's me. And Big Smart, along with two other small scouts drop out of the trees in front of you. So, what happened? I see Boy not with you.
Jake looks down to the ground, a bit of silence.
Not best news, huh? It happens, and addresses the rest of you. What about you guys? How are you?
Sorry, I had some ice in my mouth.
So good.
I found a couple of shiny rocks, so pretty good.
Shiny rocks are usually pretty good, especially for dealing with people, you know. And he makes, the rubbing fingers together money symbol.
Oh yes, but look at this rock. It's even more shiny. And then I say the first command word to just
It lights up.
yeah,
Oh,
very shiny.
very shiny rock. Yes, nice.
So what about you? How have things been down here? It's been about a week since we've been.
Oh, maybe a bit longer. Yeah, week maybe and a half. But no, things good. We things is happening. That's for sure. The other tribes, they not happy. They come looking honestly. They're trying to find statue.
Has anyone made headway on trying to find the control for the statue?
I mean, none of my boys, maybe Queen, have other people looking, but I'm more worried about other tribes.
Yeah, how many other
Fair enough.
tribes?
Well, it's mainly the owls. They most upset because they were the ones that really share God with us. But the others they see it as time for expansion of land, you know?
Right? Yeah. No, it makes sense. So how's it been going?
We good. Queen's at camp. She good. She do queen things, which honestly I'm not really sure which that is.
Well, I meant sort of your war specifically. You're fighting.
Oh, it's not so much war yet. Like it coming, but at the moment it's a lot of small things. Little scrap here, little scrap there. Scouts don't travel alone now. They don't even travel pairs. It's groups.
Gotcha. So yeah, I understand. So
you coming back to camp?
Yeah, we're coming back for the donkey and to see what's going on.
Oh, I know you were coming back to camp, but are you coming like now? Because he kind of looks around at the camp you have set up.
Were we settled down for the day then?
Well, I assumed
Or have we
this was happening. Yeah, this was happening like as you guys
we're breaking down.
were setting up.
Oh.
Yeah, we're setting up for the next night of camp. You guys traveled for the day.
Gotcha.
We're setting up camp,
Gotcha.
and now they've appeared.
Well, yeah, we didn't necessarily want to just barge in.
Oh, I mean, you friends of village, you come to tribe.
Well, that doesn't mean everybody necessarily recognizes us.
True. Many of youngest probably not know you well yet. A lot of the older ones, they know well of you already. We spread word. You guys have good reputation with us.
Oh. Well, that's good to hear. I guess there's nothing stopping us from heading in now.
Oh, I more ask like you know it's just over there, eh? And he's pointing what's out of sight for you, but you're guessing you're probably not too far away from the camp with how he's kind of acting and talking.
Oh, well,
Like, you guys didn't know you were that close. It just so happens that, yeah, if you guys follow him back, you realize you were only 200-300 yards away. Like, it was basically just a couple of layers of trees blocking you, and the camp, or the village is actually, it's not silent, it's not, a ghost town or anything like that, but all the goblins seem to be doing things quieter than they. And
Are we trying to be under the rain?
where are they? There we are. There we are. Sure enough, as you walk into camp, the statue is still in the same place you left it. We will delete that old chonky tile, because he has a tile now. And he is still in existence. They didn't eat him. Although, as you get welcomed into camp, if you tried to immediately go see the queen, you would be told that she's busy and that you will be found later. So to relax and, treat it as your home, basically.
sure.
But you do notice, sure enough, most of the belongings you left your donkey aren't there anymore. The litter is still, it's not attached to the donkey, and all its reins are off and everything. It seems to very much be living in a kind of free roam sort of situation, but it's kept to the village, obviously. But a lot of the more mundane items you left have gone missing. The kit and the litter you'd be able to find probably resting up against a tent somewhere or something like that.
Well, I think we kind of expected that.
Yeah, and any food
We
is
definitely-
just non-existent anymore. Any food that you left with them.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we're really surprised.
As I showed up, I probably would have tried to go see.
Yeah, well then you'd get told that you'll see her later, and you'll either be found or can talk to her at the nightly feast or whatever they might have. But you go fishing, obviously. And Big Smart also doesn't stick around. He basically sees you to the village, makes sure that you guys feel okay in the village, and then he darts back off with his scout.
If we're sort of looking for something to do, I'd like to spend a little bit of time trying to go over the shield golem and stuff. I don't exactly know is in character, what my character's doing, but
Well, give me either a what's it? What are they?
Arcana.
Yeah, a history or an arcana, whichever is better for you.
It's the exact same.
Which I just looking at your sheet, we're exactly the same.
Look, we'll go ahead and we'll pop like a enhance ability on this one. We'll really give it a good at going over.
Yes. Whether it's through how everything's formed and slotted together on the Shield Guardian, or whether it's indentation or something, you get the feeling that you're definitely looking for a medallion of some kind. You wouldn't obviously be able to guess how big, what it might be made of, or anything like that, but you can be sure it's definitely its activation seems to come from some kind of necklace or medallion, and it's an old magic. It's ancient, frankly, even by fantasy standards. So you're pretty sure this shield garden has existed for almost as long as Cholt has.
Given time, but not necessarily the proper resources, could I hazard a guess as to whether I could fashion another one? And of course, not the resources, because I'm not that kind of caster.
I'm pretty sure shield guardians cannot have other activation things. I'll just look it up.
Sure.
I'd say definitely without the proper items and training and everything, you wouldn't be able to do it. Like, it's not something you'd be able to do in the field.
Sure.
So for aspects of gameplay, no, you would not be able to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know whether the actual rules allow them to have another one made or not.
I just found
a
since my button here, I'm gonna copy this and paste it in chat because my button doesn't work that well.
Yep. So yes, you could do it, but it's not going to be something you're going to be able to do.
Yeah, that's like best case scenarios. I know exactly what I'm doing, which I definitely don't.
Yeah. Not to mention you don't have 20,000 gold pieces worth of amulet materials and a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would know it's definitely possible, but it's beyond the realms of doable for you and your party. And a bunch of goblins who think it's a god.
Right.
Hey boys, I might have to call it early here for me at the moment. I'm a bit tired at the moment. I'm just falling to sleep, and it's pretty rude to be falling to sleep at the moment.
Rude.
Be real rude. It'd be less rude if I just try to say, yeah, I'm not gonna go have a sleep and fall asleep on you.
That's fine. Jake can do that in game as well. I mean, we've got 4.
I'll give you full permission to just do whatever with my character and whatnot. If things need to be done, things need to be done.
We've got 40 minutes till the 3-4 hour when we would usually. I know I plan for 4 to 5 hours, but I don't have any issue dropping it at any point from this point. Like, we can just do some RP stuff with the goblins around the village and plan the next steps and everything, or we can save it for next week.
And I'll just if that's so, then I'll just catch up on the video.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine either way, really. I would rather, we do it all as groups since there's so few of us.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fine. We will call it in general, early session for this week then.
Yeah.
We had a couple of encounters. They were not major combat encounters. They were rather waste-sided things, a bit more RP than the past couple of weeks, so that's good. I think we're getting a good balance between RP and combat and everything.
I think so too.
Yeah, you guys didn't get deleted by a group that was 3 times bigger than you, so that was
we
good call by you guys.
We almost got deleted by a cliffside.
No, only one of you. The cliff was only going to claim one of you. That group would have absolutely wrecked your faces.
Yeah, just in sheer numbers, it would have been pretty rough.
Like, on a case-by-case basis, you guys could probably take them 2v1 by their stats and everything like that, but in a group like that where they have action economy and an assassin and a priest, I did not see that going well for you guys.
But by the
With
way,
that,
like,
we'll-
that's certainly not the guy we killed, though, is it? I can't even remember his
No,
name. I
no,
have
no,
written
no,
down
no, no,
elsewhere.
No, it was not Shago, and you left honestly like the mess you left behind of Shago. You pretty sure even a necromancer would have a hard time raising it, and you've seen necromancers raise, a skull on top of a hand.
Right.
Like you destroyed that body.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even think about that. Like, all it would
Well,
take is
well-
a spell to talk to.
Yep.
Well,
That's why I wanted to immolate. Because if the head is dust, you can't resurrect dust.
Either way, I think it was a good session.
Hey, that'll teach me for playing fucking Tarkov all night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next time, learn your lesson.
Yeah, I don't think I will when it comes to that game.
And I would love to play that game. It looks so amazing.
That is nice.
It's
Well,
pretty
you know-
frustratingly great.
But yeah, I think that's us there. If you've been watching, thanks for watching. And if you haven't been, you should watch. Hope everybody has a great week, and peace out.
Catch you later.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.